Two things are currently true. One, Black women have been identified as the group of women to have the most education. Two, Black women, as in November of 2024, had the highest rate of unemployment. We need to discuss this. If you're new here, my name is Cynthia, and this is Heal the New Sexy, where we dive into all things healing, self-love, and relationships. If you're watching this video, I know you're a millennial woman, and you're probably interested in trying to figure out, girl, what is you talking about? Decentering men from money so I can have my own soft life? Yes, that's what I want to talk about today. I want you to share this with every millennial woman that you know, but also I want you to like, subscribe, and please comment. Let's continue this conversation down in the comments. And everything that I share today, I will be sure to link below so that you can read the articles, and review them yourself. But this is the thing. This is the reason why I'm doing this video. I love Ashley Dalton, right? I love seeing the girls get up there. Ashley, this is the type of man I want. And she's like, well, you need to do this, this, and that. And they're like, okay. I love it. I think it's great. But the issue I have is that I see a lot of women waiting to create their own soft life. What they're essentially doing is they're essentially waiting to get married, and then they expect a man to give them their soft life. And today I want to talk about women and finances, especially Black women, because there is a substantial wealth gap as it relates to Black women compared to Caucasian women, Hispanic women, Asian women here in the United States. And we have to address the wealth gap. We have a whole lot of money, but we are engaging in a lot of consumerism, and we must address it. I have some notes. So if you see me looking down, it's because that I want to ensure that I give you all the information. This has really been on my heart and on my mind, and I really want to discuss it. I truly believe that as women, especially highly educated women, that we need to be tapping into our resources. We need to be creating multiple streams of income. We need to be eliminating debt. And that has to be one of our focuses as, or is it foci? I don't know, but that has to be one of our focuses. Correct me in the comments. I know I got an English teacher that's probably watching this. Correct me in the comments. That has to be what we focus on in singleness. Not just looking good, not just smelling good and being able to layer all the scents, but we need to focus on our financial health, and we need to address any mindsets that we have that are getting in the way of us creating our own soft life. Okay. For those girls that are corporate girlies, you may say, Cynthia, you know, I'm not really interested in entrepreneurship, and that's fine. But are you maxing out your 401k? Do you have your own IRA? Do you have a high yield savings account, right? It's about to be tax season. What you about to do with them taxes? Are you about to invest them? What are you going to do? I know entrepreneurship is not for everyone. I know everyone is not called to be an entrepreneur. Everyone's not called to have their own business, and I get that. But we should have multiple streams of income. We should. In order to combat inflation, we should have multiple streams of income. You have gifts on the inside of you. The Bible says we are treasures. There's treasures in hidden vessels. So you need to tap into that richness. Stop looking for a rich man. Stop looking for a rich man. And you need to tap into your own richness. Pew Research, organization. This is where I got this article on wealth gap, said that in 2021, the typical white household had 9.2 times as much wealth as the typical Black household. That was $250,000 compared to $27,000. $27,000 as a single Black woman. What would your life look like if you had $250,000 of liquid money? What would your life look like? What would you do? I hear many women like, oh, I can't wait to get married because I can't wait for him to sit me down. Sit yourself down, sis. Sit yourself down. Let's say you're 30 and you're not going to get married until you're 35, right? Because that's outside of our control. What are you going to do for these next 5 years? Do you know that between 2025 and 2030, that 50% of the wealth is going to be transferred to women, that women are getting ready to inherit $30 trillion. Now, let me tell you something. I don't think I'm one of them women, and you may not be one of those women either. But we should be positioning ourselves so when that wealth is transferred to these women and they need our services, that we're able to serve them, that they can find us. Okay? So if you're a nurse, are you going for your NP? Are you going for your DNP? If you are a teacher and an educator, yes, you may work for the school system, but what products are you going to put out there so that this woman who's inherited this money, who has children, she can come and work with you? You may be a tutor. You may advocate for children that are exceptional learners. What are you doing? Right? Let's say, Cynthia, listen, I'm not into that, but I really have a passion for produce. I really have a passion for teaching people how to grow their own fruits and vegetables. And I store seeds and I do this. How do we know? How will we know? Maybe you have a knack for digital product. Maybe you have a knack for marketing. Maybe you are a hairstylist and you got them growing hands. Listen, create a PDF, teach women how to take care of their hair, how to take care of their scalp. Maybe you're a dermatologist and you're like, I see a lot of Black women with CCCA, how to get all them C's out there, right? And you create a product to help women. What are we going to do to tap into this wealth? Do you have a budget? What does your personal credit look like? If you're a business owner, what does your business credit look like? What does it look like? We can't be waiting for a man to come and sit us down. Sit yourself down. Work so that you have multiple streams of income. Maybe you learn about tax liens. Maybe you get into real estate, because during this season, there's going to be so many things that are going to be up for grabs. Are you positioning yourself to be able to capitalize and get the wealth that you desire for the life that you want to live? I was on Facebook and there's a woman that I follow, Natalie Bullen. I think she calls herself a wealth coach. She said she needs $2.5 million a year to live the life that she wants to live. I was thinking to myself, my goodness, you know what kind of life she trying to live? But you know what? That has to do with mindset. What beliefs do you have related to money? And I had to check myself in that moment. Like, girl, what beliefs do you have related to money that you're looking at this other Black woman who says she needs 2.5 to live her dream life? And you like, golly, what kind of life she living? A good one, clearly. She probably got a chef. She got house cleaners. She got a pool. She's traveling multiple months out of the year. That's her life. But why can't I have that? Why can't you have that? Because we have to move from sprinkle. We have to move from looking for a rich man. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wanting a man to take care of you. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wanting to be a kept woman. But what I am saying is do it for yourself. Because when you do it for yourself, you get to determine the magnitude in which you experience it. If you are a woman and you're able to bring in $100,000 each year passively and still work a job, why not? It takes a little work. You put your head down to establish what it is that you want to create the foundation, and then you sit back and you watch it grow. Maybe you're good at trading. What am I saying? What is it called? Oh my gosh. The word not online. Y'all, why I can't find the word? Stocks. Whoop, there it is. Stocks and mutual funds. Maybe that's your thing. Get on it and teach others. Teach others that look at you what they need to do and how they need to do it. Many of us have talents that we're sitting on. I don't know if you remember the story. If you're a Christian, you know the story in the Bible about the talents. He gave 1 5, another 3, and 1 1. And the one that hid it and didn't multiply it, there was gnashing of the teeth, is what the Bible said. For many of us, the reason why we are living the life that we are is because we're waiting for a mortal man, no disrespect, to come and to sweep us off our feet and to give us a life that we have the ability, the talent, and the skill and the richness, because he says he gives us power to create wealth, to create ourselves. And you don't have to put on that boss chick energy. You don't have to be, I'm Miss Independent. That's not what I'm saying. You can be feminine and paid, okay? But what I'm saying is, it's our time and it's our season to create wealth for ourselves. It's our time to be maxing out our 401k, maxing out our IRA. If you're like, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to move from 9 to 5 into entrepreneurship, it's time for you to start looking on how much would my health insurance cost for me. If you're a single mom, how much would my health insurance cost for me and my children? If you want your children to go to private school, how much will that cost? You need to be counting up the cost. And you may say, Smithy, what does this have to do with relationships and self-love and healing? We need to heal our relationship with money because many of us were taught not to depend on a man, but also that we needed to depend on man. So we're like, which one is it? Right? Self-love includes the ability to take care of yourself. There's a difference between being a dependent and being interdependent. And when you are able to meet your needs, you are better able to teach someone else how to meet your needs because you teach people how to treat you. If you're already struggling, then you're giving it an A-okay for somebody else to allow you to struggle. I think many of us, especially if you're consuming some of this hypergamy content that's really not healthy, many of us have this concept of that a man is going to come into my life and then he's going to move me from one economic level to another versus you doing the work to do it yourself. If you grew up in poverty and you went to school and you have and you're in a better paying position now, you need to make sure that you're paying off of your debt. You need to make sure that you're saving, and you need to make sure that you're identifying other streams of income that you enjoy, right? So that you are able to take care of yourself. How would it be to be able to sit at the table and you across from a romantic partner and you're talking about your life and you're saying, you know, I've put money aside for my future children already. I have a high yield savings account that I'm putting money aside for a nanny. I'm putting money aside for their college. I'm putting money aside so that their medical bills, because you know, birthing a baby ain't free. I've put money aside. I've planned for that. I put money aside so that I can take the 5 years off for when I birth my babies. I've already planned for that. Versus coming to the table, and I think this is really crazy. I see women having these conversations very early. You don't even know if you really like this guy, but I was watching Pop the Balloon. And there was one young lady, every man that came out there and they asked her what she liked or what she was passionate about. Oh, I'm passionate about being a homemaker. So basically you want a man to take care of you. Nothing wrong with that if that's what you want. But you realize that there's certain men aren't, and I'm going to say it like this, certain men aren't healthy enough that they're going to take care of you because they love you and they adore you. There are men out there that'll do that. But other men feel like, and we see it all on these internet streets, if I'm paying all the bills, basically you do what I want you to do when I want you to do it. And the house better be clean and that meal better be cooked. So her going on there, oh, I'm passionate. I mean, every man that came out there, oh, I'm passionate about being a homemaker. I want to be a homemaker. I like to have parties and I like to bring people over. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. But are you creating that for yourself? Are you creating the life that you want to live? If you want to be a homemaker, are you creating that for yourself? Do you have 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, how many ever streams of income? Are you creating the life for yourself? And listen, I'm not talking just to y'all. I'm talking to me too. Because we can't just, I'm going to say it this way. We can't expect our husband to take care of us the way that our father did. Now, wait, let me explain that. Because I don't want, what do you mean, Cynthia? We show up and the relationship between a parent and a child is very different than the relationship between romantic partners. And many women are attempting to demand from the men in their life what their father didn't give them. And so we have to address that. There are men that want to be providers. They're not going to be worried about your money. But all I'm saying is you have to create the life for you that you want. That's your responsibility. Create your life. Live your life the way you want to. If you want to be able to take multiple vacations a year, create a life where you're able to do that. Not get in a relationship and then want to say, hey, this is the life I want to live and you have to provide it for me. No, sugar, provide it for yourself. One of my favorite songs, listen, I haven't listened to it in years. But back in the day, I'm going to say back in the day, One of my favorite songs was by the Yin Yang Twins. They said, smoke by myself, drink by myself. Forgive us, Lord. For real. Bye-bye. For real. That, baby, that was my, what? Every time that song came on, smoke by myself, drink by myself. All right. Just saying. That was my favorite song. But guess what? And I'm not even saying it from a hyper independent place. But if you are a single woman, it's time for you to focus on getting your bags, run your bag up, create your soft life. In these next 5 years, we're about to see a transfer of wealth. And we have to position ourselves to be it. Like, I'm a service provider, I'm a therapist, I'm a coach. I have to position myself to have the systems in place, so that when those women are looking for help in love, they're looking for help in relationships, they're looking to heal from trauma, that I'm in position to be able to work with them. I'm in position to be able to serve them. And I'm taking what they give me and I'm being able to create passive income or other additional income streams for myself. I want to read this to you as it relates to the racial divide, because this is something that I found to be very interesting as it relates to this is from the National Community Reinvestment Coalition. And again, I will link this down below. I want to talk about racial gaps as it relates to wealth, but I want to talk about Black women specifically, because I read something that was jarring to me. In 2021, it said the median earnings for Black women and men there was no difference. Both Black men and Black women were at 42% in 2021 as it relates to median earnings. Now, for Asian men and women, there was a $17,000 difference. So Asian men made $78,000 in 2021, and their female counterparts made $61,000. And then for whites, there was a $10,000 difference, where white men were making $59,000 and white women $49,000. And then for Hispanics, the Hispanic men were making $44,000 and their women were making $38,000, or Hispanic women were making $38,000. As it relates to poverty rates, we had the second highest as it relates to poverty. Women, Black women at 23% and Black men at 19%. So we got to get on our Zoom. Do we know we only got 30 minutes? Yo, I love TikTok. I would be heartbroken when they take it in a few days. But I love TikTok. Do you understand? It's been a real space of education as it relates to single parents, because I am one. It's in 2013, white women had their median wealth was $81,200. In 2013, single woman's median wealth was $0. And it's projected by 2053 that the wealth of the African American community will be $0. We got to get on our Zoom. We got to stop consuming the sprinkle. Be fine like Ashley tell you to do. Okay, but not just to attract a man, but do it for you. I'm going to do another video on decentering men from your sensuality, sexuality. So if you want to watch that, that's going to come up next. I want to thank you so much for your time and your attention. Again, my name is Cynthia, and healed is the new sexy. Bye-bye.